we will work on share because a little bit more complex than the other. So I'm gonna have to set up my project as usual, and I actually organize into week 8 right there. Here we go. I'm gonna open the file that we were left off from last section. Okay, so now the share, we're gonna come back and forth on the geometry. Let's build this section first. I'm gonna have to open up a source images so that I can see larger. Here we go. So we could see these are 5-star and extruded, a little rounded right there. There we go. And actually this section is kind of punched in. Well, with the image reference, will be show something like that. So it means will not be closed up like this. So there's no need to punch the hole. It can be absolutely separate object. Will look just like the image, even though the detail is not there. So this is how you do modeling. You analyze how much this object will be seen. If it just in the small scale on the composition, there's no need to build all the detail at all. So to build this shape, that's not difficult at all if you analyze it. For example, you have to extrude this geometry. They have to look like 5-star, not 5, N-gon. That's what it is. And these can be separate on the part that for a wheel, and wheel is 2-wheel connect and has a bar. You don't even need to build the bar actually because it can't be seen it anyway, right? Now with these objects though, you actually don't even have to build them exactly same as the body part. See, like this is the other side. It can be 2 pieces connecting and then just move them as a group because once again, it will look so small, you can't really see the detail when we render it out. So there's no need to add those extra work to unnecessarily object and things like that. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Now, you could actually build this object into separate scene and then import it back into this scene. However, you will have to make a little bit or a lot of adjustment to the shape itself. So it's much, I think it will be faster if you build inside the scene right away. So I'm gonna create a cylindrical because cylindrical will allow us to change the shape into N-gon easily. So now basically you just move your cylindrical into the location. Okay. And I think need to be a little bit further. And it's gonna have to be a little float. So we worry on that later. Let's get 5 corner first. Press 5. Here we go. Will look like this. And now the cap, I think this time we should leave the cap. For now. We got to leave the cap. Okay. And I'm gonna change the height to be smaller, less tall. Radius, I'm gonna just type it in. It seems like it's about right, the size. Might be too big, we'll see. So right there. Now, we're gonna extrude it, but if you look at on the on the shape, there's a gap right there. There's a gap. So we probably need to do something about that. Okay. Now, the other thing is actually it will extrude it right on the higher, what do you call it, the wider edges, right there. That's what's gonna be. So we need a span, basically, to be able to extrude. Well, how do we do that though? We can actually select these vertical edges like this. And we're going to use bevel to help. So right click, shift mouse, right click, bevel edge, so that we get that kind of bevel look. To get started to extrude. And I do not know if this is the right size, right width, but we can leave it there because we have this bevel that we can come back and work on it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the face. There you go. Okay. And we're going to extrude it. Oop. Shift right mouse click, extrude. And I want you to just push on Z direction so that it go like that. And you might need to push a little wider. There we go. And we're going to leave it there for now. We're going to come back, go to object mode. Now when you look at it, if I deselect and reselect it again, we have a parameter under input. This allows us to go back inside and change some division, but it will cause some problem with the whatever we see it there, the segment. But we have bevel, because bevel, we can actually change the look of the bevel. Under friction, see if I can do larger, smaller. There we go. So I use middle mouse to drag. Select the label of the fraction and then middle mouse drag. So now let's rotate the whole object to match like that. It appears to me that it needs to be longer, and probably the base needs to be a little thicker based on that picture. So I'm gonna go to the poly slender one. Under input, I can increase the radius. How about 0.6? I can do 0.7. When I increase it, I'm looking at this part. See, it's kind of big enough. I might need to switch this to wireframe. I think I can get, how about 0.75? Oops, 0.75. I think I'm going to go with 0.75. Now, the length, I'm going to highlight poly extrude face, turn on manipulator 2, so that I can get back this manipulator. Let me switch to 4 on my perspective. I can extend this a little bit longer. How about that?
How did you turn on the manipulator?
Right here, this button.
Oh, okay.
And a shortcut for manipulator is T. You must highlight the poly extrude face. If you highlight the poly bevel, you will get a manipulator for bevel instead, which bevel doesn't have. So that's why you don't see anything. Okay. Now I'm gonna highlight poly extrude one more time, and this time, based on what I see, I wanted to create a push it down a little, right? Because it has a slightly angle. I'm gonna move on y-axis down. Now when I move like that, it looked like this. Can you see? Because each axis that we extrude, they have different normal. So it looks kind of crooked. I'm gonna undo. But we can switch to the world space. Right now it's on normal space. We want normal space on Z so that the perpendicular end go outward. But we want all 5 to go down. In this case, to switch the normal mode to world space mode, right here, this button, switch. You click one, now switch. And then you can push it down. Get a little angle. Okay. Get a little angle. Now switch back. Okay, now see it's coming down. Okay. Let's press 3 to see how it looks. Look like this. So it's not too bad. It's kind of look like what it is from far away. Most likely, I'm going to go to right click and choose vertex, switch to 1. We probably have to move that upward just a bit, tad. Because if you look at, oh, no, sorry. Based on the picture, it's not. It's literally flat. So never mind, undo, it's flat. But I could see that it's a little thin based on the image here when we close up. A little bit too thin, right? So we go back to poly cylinder. Now, hey guys, if I move the vertices and I come back to poly and then increase the height, see what happened. Oh, lucky, because I move only one direction. If you move more than one direction and more than one vertices, when you change the parameter on the bottom, the lower or the bottom of the input hierarchy, it could create distortion. So it means some of the vertices might shoot somewhere else. It's just because Maya doesn't know what to do with it. So basically, while you wanted to go back and forth on the input before we delete history, you do not edit component manually. Like, do not move face like that. Do not move edge. Do not move vertices. Do not delete any vertex. You have to do that last. So now, if I go to object mode again, select cylinder, I can add 0.3, a little taller. So it means thicker. So I'm going to save this scene as, I'm going to call 4. And then I'm going to save as again and call 4A. I like to do kind of organize my file like this. So it means 4A, 4 can be 4A, 4B, 4C. And then I'm satisfied with all the modification. I can move to the next step. I will save into 5. So the reason that I save to 4A because I may change my mind and want to come back to this stage and make some change. So right now, I am okay. So I'm going to delete history. Just remember, on file number 4, I still have history. But file number 4A, I have no history on this. So I cannot go back and make an adjustment again on the thickness and things like that. The reason that we need to delete because of this, 5 corner of vertices. 1, let's turn on display, heads up display, poly count. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see? It said 5 point selected. This is incorrect topology. We got to fix this. And what should we do with it? So you look at on the geometry first. You wanted to lay them out so that they are a little more uniform. However, on this project, like I said, we don't really care so much about uniformity of the topology. We care only about how it looks on your geometry. However, this is not easy, it's not difficult to fix at all. Basically, you can cut them to be all 3, or you can just cut them. So multi-cut 2, cut, oops, sorry, let me escape. It goes somewhere else. Let me oh, come on. Let me go to object mode. Here we go. And go to selection. Something happened. I didn't select them. Okay. So at this moment, I'm going to do multi-cut 2. And then you can cut like this. 1, 2, and then come back. Here we go. So now it's all 3 corners. Or you could even do like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here we go. So now you got 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, still 3 and 4. Okay. And on the bottom, you got to do the same. So I'm going to switch to 4. And I'm going to cut, make it uniform like the top part. So that easy for me to figure it out if I need to make some change because they're all uniform. Okay. And now when I press 3, see how it looks. Okay. So it's kind of look like that already if it's from far away. Now we need a little sharp line right here on the top. So it appears to look like there's a really, can you see right there? Like a bevel. It's not circular. It's not boxy. It's kind of a, can you see? It's taper on the top. So I'm going to go back to here, press 1. It's look like this top section can be squeezed in, like taper a little bit. Now, we're going to have a little bit of work on here because if you look at it, I have to scale them one by one, which are really hard to make it exactly same size. Can you see? Like if I do like, especially right this, I have to change the scale mode into, oops, sorry, hold R, left mouse click, exit, custom, don't do it yet. Set to edge, and then I can set to edge, and then I can scale like this. But my problem is, I have no way to be able to scale them exactly the same, right? So that's my problem. So what we can do is we can do a little trick. We can extrude them and then scale them. Let's try this. We do a little trick. Extrude it. There we go. And then you offset it. How about 1, 2? How about 3? Here we go. So 3. So that we get the surface. Okay. And what we can do is we can grab all of this. You can, if you can double click on it, would be great. So you probably have to double click quite a few, double click. Just only on the edge, loop all around from the top part. So we're going to fake it a little bit. Okay. You might need to switch to 4 so that you can see it if it's slick all around or not, because we want them to look a little uniform. Now, basically, you're going to just move it down like this. Here we go. Now, I had a little problem on here. Well, we'll come back and fix it right there. So just move it for now. So now press 3 to see how it looks. I think these will be okay when we add discontinuity. Let me exaggerate a little bit and move it down even more. How about that? That's it. Okay. So now we're going to fix this section right here. So this might be a little bit confused at first. Make sure you, oh good, I thought I forgot to record. Okay. Make sure you might have to go back and watch this a few times. So now, we need to make this become a single level again, right here, to become like flat, right? Otherwise, it will look like this. I'm going to press 3. So basically, I'm going to deselect. We're going to have to fill this section. So if I delete just only these 2 pieces first, delete it. There we go. And we're going to add a pen to Polygon Tool. Edit a pen. Append it side to side first. Hold on. No, I go too fast. I think we have to delete all of this. Let's do all at once. And then we fill them up. Right here. And delete like that. Okay. So now they should be the same level. So now we're going to connect them. Okay. So to connect it, go to Object Mode, Shift right mouse click, and choose Append to Polygon Tool. In order to access Append to Polygon Tool on the marking menu, you need to be on Object Mode. If you don't do that, you have to come to Mask Tool, Append to Polygon. So now we're going to append 1 and 2. It's going to look a little off. Hey. Sorry. My bad. Append side to side first, right here. That will be a same level. Press Y and keep going, side to side first. 4 corner. Y. Backspace. If you make a mistake, press backspace. If you press enter, you execute and get off from the tool mode. So you have to press Y to repeat the tool again. Okay. Press Y, you can execute and repeat the tool at the same time. Here we go. Okay. And then we're going to have to scale this down a little bit, because if you look at from the bottom, this is wider. So double click on that loop, like the top part of the loop, and scale uniform only Z and X. So grab the green plane and here we go. Now, you might need to eyeballing it on the top view. So I'm going to switch the panel.
Are you doing the edges or the faces?
The edges. When I scale.
Okay, is it the top edge of that face or the bottom edge?
The top. Hold on, let me switch. Here we go. Can you see? Top. Oh, let me go to perspective quick so that you can see better. Right here.
Okay, you haven't connected the...
No, not yet.
Okay.
I mean, the reason that I want to scale it down because I want it, let's take a look at my top view. Can you see? I want it to be right here coming inward, because at the beginning it looked like this. I want them to be similar right here, right there. I want edge to be bottom and top to be straight line. So that's why I have to scale.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I understand.
So that they won't flare out. I mean, you could do like invert like this too. So that is a little blend from the top. That is okay. Can you see? A little blend from the top. So let's scale it down to, let's take a look at on top view one more time. It's like this. You want to make this line straight line and perpendicular to the bottom line on the base of the extrusion, like that. So when you're ready, you just need to connect this area. Now, append to polygon, you append 4 corner first, because the 3 corner, if you start it first, you can't really get them look like this. It will shift to the left or to the right instead. But if we focus on the uniform chord, the left out will be filled up really easy. Here we go. So it look like this now. And then the 3 corner, just one click and click anywhere to close. Follow the arrow, basically. And I try to shorten time by select the beginning and try to find the end of the loop. Like if I click right here, this is become the beginning loop, second, third. So click on the third to finish. There we go. So now if I press 3, well, it looks kind of like that right now already. Okay. And if you wanted to create a little sharp look on the top, right there, a little sharp, you basically just use, it seems like these are narrower than this, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. You could add multi-cut control and then loop right there. Let me press 1 first, 3, so that you can see. Right now, see it's soft. So if I loop it, let's do on 1. Loop it right there. So now when press 3, it's a little harder on the top. Mine is still too wide, but I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to let go. I think this is good enough. Okay. Actually, I don't like it, but that's okay. This is work. Let me undo. I'm not going to insert that. I'm going to just make it soft like that. Okay, because it's such a far away. So now, how can we create this section right there? Well, let me show it to you. Go back to 1, switch to 4 because is on the bottom. You wanted to create a cut. So now, if you want to be able to cut them evenly from from all 5, you have to use hold Control key and then hold Shift so that you can snap. So I'm gonna snap. I think it's 1 snap there because it's about 10% at a time. Can you see? So let go, same thing here, because they are having the same length, so it's easy for us to snap. There we go. And that's it. I got equally side. Okay. And then let's take a look at it a little bit more, what shape look like. I think they kind of, oh, they are not flare, just going down. So that's easy then. So when look like this, hey guys, if I wanted to turn on 5, when I tumble it down, I can't see it. So what we can do is, this geometry is the geometry that we will use for rendering, right? So let's select all of them, add into a new layer, and you can call mesh layer, meshes, maybe. Here we go. And I'm gonna save. Now, if I turn it off, can you see everything's gone? So I'm gonna just have to remove these share base. Select the share base, right click on meshes layer, and choose remove selected object. Now when you hide it, these things will stay. Now, I accidentally select the background image, the image plane and camera. So I'm gonna enable, select the camera, remove, and then we're gonna have to select the image plane. Oh, perfect, I'm lucky. So this is the camera, basically. So now it'll stay back. It's just because when I region drag, I also drag that camera with me. Okay, so now what you need is you select these phases and then you just extrude it down. That's all you need. Extrude, push it down. Now, hey guys, if you push down with a normal space, it will have angle like this. See, angle. This image is not angle, it's just straight down. So to make it straight down, I'm gonna undo. I'm gonna have to switch this to world space, and then I push it down like this. There we go. Now, how can I make, let me change the view quick to orthographic font view, press F. Can you see there has an angle? How can I fix that? Really easy. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say scale.
Yes, scale. But you have to be on a actual scale tool. So turn on scale, and then just scale only on y-axis to flat everything down. Now press 3, it looks kind of round. We need to stop continuity. Let's take a look at reference again. I believe we need to stop from the base and the end. So the base there, yep. Oh, if we stop from the base, that might create, let's try. So right now, see, it look like this. So go to 1. Let's insert a loop. Oop. Shift, oh, sorry. Object, shift right mouse click, multi-cut, and cut right there. Use shift key again so that they are even on all 5. 1, let's press 3 to see. That's better. So that's it. I can press 1. So hold shift, control and shift, and move until snap to the last snap. Okay. Oh, is that right? Here we go. Last snap. So it's 10% of, here we go. I mean, even if they are not equal, still okay. But this is how you do it. Here we go. And then we're going to do one more at the end. Right there, same. Hold shift so that they all equal, all 5. That's it. Okay. So here we go. So it looks kind of there now, right here. See? Press 3. Here we go. So when press 3, it looks just like that. I mean, not perfect, but that's good enough. Now, if you have to, you can increase a little division right between here. You can. I don't think you need to, but you can if you want to. I'm going to ignore it for now. Okay. I mean, to increase the division, to make it crease, basically you have to find a way to cut them like this. Now when it cut, can you see? I will get something like this. I still get the really nice sharp on between, but this is what you're going to get, the layout. You can fix them by connect this to here and then make that become center like this, but you don't have to do it. I'm going to I just want to show you, that's all. It's possible. Okay. So now, can you see the stack? It's a lot. Delete it. Alt Shift, oops, sorry. Edit, delete by type, history. Alt Shift D. Because those stack doesn't have the parameter that we wanted to reuse them. Save my scene. So now for A, for B, for only is the one that still have extrude and bevel. Okay. So now, how about this part? That's easy. Just do separate object. And you don't even need to cut the hole on this plastic part. You just too slender. And you could have third slender that's smaller. Once again, you don't have to make them become a single object. So this is what I'm going to do. Add slender. And I'm going to move slender to here. Now, there's a trick here. Can you see the center of the pivot point on the base of the shaft? We make it right there because it's from slender, right? So we can do this. We can select this object, shift select the base, and we can tell Maya to align them together. So under modify, you have align to. Now, if you want exactly match on the translate and rotate, you could do this quick way. Match translation, translate, whoop, that's it. Match. Hey. Oh, somehow it doesn't. Oh, okay. Translate and rotate. Nope, you can't do match. Translate, sorry. So select the slender, shift select the base, and use align to. And can you see when you do align to, you have to tumble your scene in order to see align icon. So I want align center, click on the center. Shoop, here we go. And one more, right there. Boop, here we go. So now they align it. Let me undo it again. So to do align to, you select the object that you wanted to move, and then select the other object, shift select the other object that you wanted to move to. And then use modify, align to. Now tumble your scene, focus on the icon on middle align on each axis. Here we go. Some angle you get all three at once. Some angle you might have to rotate it. And sometimes you might need to zoom in because the space are so narrow. Now, I'm going to just select the slender, move it up a little bit, change the radius to 0.2. Oh, hey guys, I moved. Hey, that's weird. It just shifted somehow. I don't know how does it how does that happen? I can align them more, one more. Just strange. Not sure how did I do that. right there. Oh, well, that's the center. Okay, I clicked the wrong. Come on. Oh, okay, I know what happened. Because the end cone has been rotated, the center are shift. It used the boundary box, it's not using the pivot point. Never mind. So you still get at least go somewhere. Now you can do move and hold vertex. Turn on snap to vertex and then just snap to the vertex of the base. Turn vertex snap off and now it's center. Shoop. There we go. So change to 6 side because 6 side is enough. When we press 3, it will look circular, right? There we go. Press 1 back. And these are triangle. It's okay to leave as a triangle because we're not going to mold them anyway. So I'm going to scale the size until I think I'm going to do a little taller. I'm going to just use vertices and move that and move it up a little. Here we go. Don't need to move it too high. Okay. And if you press 3, can you see that's the location? Here we go. Let's turn on wireframe. Here we go. See that the location? I turn on wireframe on shaded. That's tall enough. So now, if you press 3, will look like this. We got to stop continuity. So press 1 back, switch to 4 so that you can see wireframe. Just multi-cut, control key, hold shift. Oh, no, you don't have to. Well, you can. I'm going to just eyeballing it right there. And the other one, here we go. Press 3. Now it's kind of look like that. If it's not sharp enough, you probably have to have the top part here line loop, but you can't loop them from the top because it's triangle. See, if I hold control key, it won't work. So what you need to do is you just select and extrude it. Extrude and then offset. How about 1? Here we go. So that you get extra line, loop line right there. Now when I press 3, it's look kind of sharp line. Now on the bottom though is penetrate inside. There's no point to do that. Actually, sorry, my bad. There's no point to do on the top neither because it's going to be hidden with the bigger one. But anyway, you get an idea. So now I'm going to duplicate this guy again, Control D. And I'm going to scale, turn on scale 2, but I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, move it up, and scale only X and Z to make it bigger. While you scale, look at on this view. Move it up. That's perfect. Now I got to make this sharp. The bottom. So go to vertex. I need to move this down a little bit. Press 1. There we go. I think I'm going to move that down a little bit. Yep. So now on face, on the bottom, just like what we did with the top part, because this is outside, it can be seen. So we need to make it sharp, extrude, and offset it 1. Here we go. Now, when I press 3, it looks like this. See? And then one more cylinder. I'm going to just use the long one. Control D, move it up. Because there's another piece there. When you look at it, right there. And these pieces are smaller. So I'm gonna scale. You can scale all 3 axes uniformly. It's fine because this guy really long. This cylinder. Now you're gonna use this technique to build all the parts just like that, separate geometry, and then when we're done, we're gonna group them together so that you can move them all together, stuff like that. Or you don't even need to. And now, it's always a good idea to name your object because when you look at on the outliner, can you see there's a bunch of P, Q, 2, 3, 4? You have no idea what they are. So it's a good idea to name it. Now I could name like this, base. So I could call share base poly. There we go. So I know it's a share base poly. And then there's a cylinder base. You could name anything you want to. Now, these 3 objects, I could use a name command right here on the status line, right there. Expand it. Right now it's on absolute workspace modification. We can click on the on this menu and choose rename. Now it will rename 3 of them based on your selection. We'll put no number, and then we'll put 1 and 2. So I'm gonna call share base tube maybe poly. When I execute it, you will get to poly 1 and poly 2. So it means no just base tube poly 1, poly 2, but has a name. So we can freeze transform and delete history. Modify, freeze it. So when you freeze it, it's become 1. Basically, it's break the location and change the values to 0. Now delete history, edit, delete by type, history. I'm going to save this scene. And then I'm going to save scene as B. So in one day, I have 3 files, something wrong on one. I can go back to the previous one. Safer. Okay. So now I'm going to stop soon. I'm going to continue to the base here. And this section, you can wait for me. You can try to do it. At the meantime, while we wait for Wednesday, you can go ahead and start it to get all the basic part. Like the trash can, you have a hole, you have separate object, separate cap, separate bag, plastic bag. So all separated. And just stack them together like what we did with this. Easier, faster. There's no point to do all single object, because if you do all single object, you can't animate them neither. If you do this, like let's say for example, I can, after I freeze transform, right, I can rotate this guy to do animation, or I can rotate this guy. So like for game or something like that. And so now I forgot, we got to do the wheel. The wheel is really easy on the wheel, but this part a little bit. So the wheel, you have, I think, what is it, 2 or 3? 2 wheel. That looks like a 2 wheel. Okay, that wheel is round from the outside and straight line from the inside. That's a really easy one. Cylinder again. And this time, let's reduce it to 6 again. Make it small. And we're gonna, basically you have to rotate them. So when I rotate, it looks like on Z-axis, so you can put 90. There we go. And then you might need to switch to a top view. Orthographic top, so that you can move those wheel closer. And now we already rotate this. So it takes a little bit of work. So you have to rotate until you get kind of same angle like that. And I'm gonna change radius. At this point, you could scale them. Squeeze it. Make sure on your scale tool, you're on object scale, orientation. Otherwise, you're gonna scale based on the workspace. It will look awkward. Can you see when I switch to move to W key? These are workspace. If I double click on the move tool, exit orientation, set to world, let's switch to object mode so that we can move them based on the orientation of the object. Here we go. So I'm going to switch to perspective, press F, and move it out. There we go. I think it's too thick, so I'm going to squish it. How about that? And what about the size? It's really hard to tell because image is so far away. So when we look at on the actual image, let's see how it looks. So it's probably about a little bit bigger than the base cylindrical there. So I would, let me scale it. How about scale like this? A little bigger. Move it down so that it has clearance. You might need to look at on top view again. Here we go. So it look like this, a little more wider. Okay. And at this moment, we're gonna make it looks like round. Oh, can be thicker too. All right, right there. Like that, I think. And then we can have a wheel fender on the cover. So now, let's focus on perspective view. If I press 3, it will look like this. So the font, the outside is perfect, but the inside we want straight line. So go back to 1. What we can do, we can extrude and offset this section. How about 1? Yep. And press 3 to see how it looks. Yes, it's kind of like that. Press 1 back. I can cut more right here. I'm going to use shift cut. Press 3. Now it's look like this. This is what we want. Okay. Look like that. So let's name this chair wheel poly. Okay. So that when we duplicate it has the name. And then we're gonna delete history. Now the orientation and scale, don't delete them yet because we want to be able to move them in the object direction. Like for example, Control D to duplicate, and then I move it out like this. I'm gonna switch to top view quick, so that here we go, so that I can kind of see the space. I think this is good. Now we have to reverse it. To reverse to the other side, basically you're gonna have to rotate like this. Can you see? So now though, it said 180. There will be a time that you don't have that luxury. See, it's already actually the time. It already has angle on it. So what we can do is turn on move tool again, W key. This axis, let's see, oops, I want to see, that's a Y axis. we can add negative y, it will flip. So right there, put minus. Here we go. Can you see it's flipped? Positive the other side. This is a little trick. But if you freeze transform, normally when you do modeling, when you get to the point that you edit shape right, position correct, you freeze it. It will look different if I freeze this. For example, let's watch. Don't do it. Freeze it. Now I don't have this luxury. If I do minus on y, it's basically flip on this side. I have to be minus x, right? So now let me undo quick. Now because of this, the orientation of the object has been rotated 90 degrees on x. That's why the axes are pointing into different direction, which we want that. We plan it. So minus, now we get this. Here we go. So at this point, I would try to put the name. This could be like one set of the wheel, right? So let's name something. How about wheel, let me add wheel 01 on here. So now you will get wheel 01. I mean, if you afraid you're going to get confused, you can put 0 on it. So you have poly 0 and poly 01. Okay. So, yeah.
How do you straighten the pivot point? Because my pivot point is like on the world axis instead of on the object. So like.
Oh, right here. Change to object mode. Double click on the move tool and scale tool or rotate tool. Yep. Because right now the object mode orientation is like that. If you're on workspace, it will create a relatively to the workspace. So now don't freeze transform yet. We will have to, but not now, because we want to duplicate 2 of these together. So I'm going to Control D, select 2 objects, and then you, now when you move, can you see it moves based on the object, right? So I'm going to just move them together outside. Now what if you want them to be exactly same space? You can group them. To object, you group it. Here we go. And when you turn on move to, when you group them, the group node will change the pivot point to the center of the workspace. So you're going to have to go to modify and center pivot. Make the pivot point come back to the group node or to the selection. And then you move them together, rotate it, and eyeballing it. Don't need to switch the tool, the orientation selection or tool, because we are moving group node, and I kind of gonna just replace them in the area that I think is appropriate. Okay. Now I forgot. We better to build the fender first and then group all of them at once. Otherwise, we have to do another 5 times. So, sorry, delete that. We do it again later. Right now, let's build the cover first. The cover of the wheel. And once again, guys, based on the picture, we will not see this section. So you don't need to add cylinder to connect 2 wheels together. There's no point to build that. Let's build this part right there. Let's see how it looks first. Is look like it has a little angle there. You don't have to follow that high detail. That's too much work. So let's do something simple. Create a cylinder, and on cylinder, you can just hold V key. V key is snap to point. And just grab the center, let it snap to somewhere here, quicker, just quicker. And then go ahead, change subdivision, I think 6 would be too less, but let's try. 6, rotate it. Once again, guys, on your tool, you set to orientation to object. So that will be 90. Here we go. And you might need to be on top view. I hold space bar and then left mouse click. I can switch. Full wireframe. Go ahead, rotate it. So that's about 90 degree. And I am not going to scale. I'm going to use radius. 0.2, height, 0.2, there we go. And then move. And eyeballing it. Try to make it in the center of those two wheels. And radius can be bigger. Oops. Might have to be 0.3. I think 0.3 is about right. And the width, how about 0.4? Yep, 0.4 is a little covered. Hold on. Let's look at it on the picture again. Oh, it's smaller. Right here. A little small. Oh, okay. I can see it. One bigger, one smaller. The front one larger, the big one. You know, nobody gonna see it. Let's make them same size. So 0.3, because it's such a small part of the scene. There we go. Oop. That 1.3. Here we go. Okay, like that. I'm going to look at it on perspective view. And I have to move this down so that it cover in it. Like that. There we go. I want to line up matching the, can you see the center? You know what? Let's do snap to vertices here. So hold V key is snap to point, can you see? And then move like this, up and down only. Now that's snap. It's kind of try to force snap, but in one direction. So basically it's look for this point, but that's all. Because I constrain to move up and down only. That's why I snap it in the level. So this is good. Now I really think that 6 sub axis is too less. Let's do 8. Now 8 is look like this. We need to think about, we're gonna extrude the top part a little bit too. Can you see? We want that cylindrical looking, right? That's what we plan. So let's, wait. Once again, guys, we don't have to do that. Because it doesn't have to be a single object, right? It's really far away. Like when you render, let's say that render, that's it, it's really far. There's no point to do a single object. So we're going to add another cylinder on top of it. So let's duplicate this cylinder so that we don't have to rework. And then rotate. Let's see. Let me start this from 0. Here we go. 0 it out. Move it up. Okay. And I'm going to scale it down uniformly so that they kind of fit in. There we go. Move a little bit. Okay. You might have to rotate. Here we go. So that, can you see the, it is lined up. Here we go. And then scale it down again until it's not penetrated, not come out from the side. There we go. Look like this. Okay. So now, what about the cylinder? Delete the face. Look like this. Delete all faces except this section, like the fender section, look like this. If I switch to 4, will look like this. Can you see? Delete that. And if you press 3, will look like this. Can you see? But there's no thickness. We got to fix that. So you're going to press 1 back. Go to object mode. On the fender, right click and choose extrude the whole body. And then just extrude outward to get a little thickness on it. So I move on Z direction basically. There you go. Get a little thickness on it. Oop. And now we need to stop continuity, that's all. So press 3, can you see it will look like this? I'm going to press 1 back. Let's multi-cut to control and just stop continuity. And right there, right here, press 3, look like this. And that's good enough. Don't have to do anything else. Now, what about this cylinder? You got to control the continuity again. So basically the bottom need to be, if I switch to 4, here we go, cut. The top one you just cut only on the side because it's hidden it. But the bottom one though, you need to extrude them if you remember. Now, if this is confusing you, you select the object and then go to show menu, isolate selection, and turn on view selected only, temporary, and then we can bring it back. So the bottom I select like this. And then extrude offset 1 is too much for me, so we're going to do 0.25. Here we go. And then when I press 3, will look like this, sharp. So now I can bring everything back, isolate selection, uncheck, view selected, will look like this. Now from far away, nobody can tell. That looks good enough. You don't have to do anything else much. So now this can be a single unit. So let's name this popper. Will be, how about this is top fender, bottom fender. I don't know what to call it. You can call wheel cover. How about that? I'm going to select these 2 objects, name it here. Chair, wheel, CV cover. How about that? Cover. Well, let's make an actual name. Here we go. So you have cover 1 and no 1. So now we're gonna group all of these together so that we can move them as a single unit. Okay. So select all of this. Mine is 4 objects. Look at on my view, on my outliner. Edit, group it, and then turn on move to so that you can see where the pivot point of the group node goes. We wanted to change back to the center of the selection, of all the selection. Just go to modify center pivot. Now we'll move the pivot point back. Here we go. And now we're going to name this. So basically, I'm going to name chair wheel will set GP1 group, just call group 1. How about that? Group 1. Okay. Now, we're going to duplicate them. However, if you guys can you just watch on screen quick? Look at on my outliner. Share will set group 1 has 4 objects. We'll cover poly and we'll cover poly 1. We'll O1, 0, 1. We'll O1, poly 1. I don't think I should name the 0, 1, but I already did. So now, if I duplicate, edit, duplicate, I got 2 groups. However, if you look, this is a problem. The group 1 has exactly same member, same name on the group 2. Maya will have this problem later on when you do animation or texturing or writing script or expression. So what you need, I delete. I'm going to select only group 1. You need duplicate spatial. Open up option on duplicate spatial. Edit. Duplicate spatial. Open up option. You just want this. Assign unique name to children nodes. That's all. So basically, we'll duplicate a new group, add a new name, basically add number, and then rename this by adding number into it. So now when I duplicate spatial, and watch, right here, can you see? Now they have a unique name on the children because add 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 3. Yes, like I said, I shouldn't have named this because originally I first thought I was planning to come in and rename each one of these. So become wheel 01, poly, wheel 02, poly, stuff like that. So now, at this point, you just go to top view and just line them up. So you might have to switch to 4, press F so that you can zoom and just rotate the group node and line it up, just eyeballing it. I mean, don't have to be super perfect because it's such a small size of the object. It will look right when we see it. And I forgot to check the if it touched the ground or not. It might not touch. We'll see. So now I'm going to duplicate spatial again. Control-Shift-D if you like. But here we go. Duplicate spatial. So that is duplicate the unique name. Rename it for us. Just eyeballing it, line them up. And I use shortcut to switch between move to and rotate to Q, W, E, R. Q is selection, W is move, E is rotate, R is scale. I'm going to use shortcut. Control-Shift-D is duplicate spatial. 4 o'clock already. Control D. Oh, nope, not Control D. Hey guys, when you select the group, you need to use outliner. You don't want to do this. Can you look at on my screen quick? If I reach and drag, I'm going to subtract that. I did not select the group. Can you see? When you see dark highlight, it means the member has been selected, not the top hierarchy. So when I expand it, it will look like this. So basically, you're going to move or translate or rotate the lower the children, not the object, not the main group. So you have to use outliner to select the group edit, duplicate spatial, and then move the whole group and rotate. Okay, save my scene, and we got the row, and I should press 3, okay, look like this. Okay, save your file again. Are you guys doing okay? Now, how about the seed? I'm gonna skip this part, that part. I'll let you build it on the bottom. No, actually, I should build it with you because it's kind of has a little strange look like that. Okay, so, okay. Now, when you build this, I think if you want it to be kind of exactly really match the differences there, you can build it in one single batch, and then you cut the line there, and then you separate them, and then you fill the bottom. So now let's do this shape. It look like this. It look like a taper there. So you can get with the box first. Okay. So box and relocation, you can do align tool with this. So that quicker, modify, align, and then now you can align, align, align. Here we go. See? It's a little quicker so that you don't have to try to force yourself to move things. Yes?
What was the quick way? It was like snap transformations or something like that?
It depends. If you want to snap to vertices, you hold V key.
Right.
And then grab the center. Like, for example, if I turn on move to, hold V key, and I grab the center, and then I move. Can you see?
But there was an option under the modify thing. It was like
Match transformation. All transform, translate, rotate, and scale. So, but sometimes doesn't work like what you wanted because it used bounding box, not use pivot point. But when you use align tool, it use pivot point on both objects. So now I'm gonna make it bigger so that the width and so width and height should be this. Oh no, this one width and depth. There we go. So I'm gonna just make it like it's about the same size. I cannot do more, so I'm gonna have to 4, maybe 4. I am not sure. And I can see that it's a little off from the image. So it's mean it's not tall enough. Here we go. So I have to check. Oh, okay, my share is too low. So it has to be lower and push higher and push backward, upward. So, hey guys, this chair you will have to select. Let me turn this off quick. I'm gonna reach and drag like this, but not the wheel, because the wheel you have to select group node. Find on your outliner. Here we go. And then turn that on, move it until it's above the ground plane. Here we go. And then turn that off, check. You're going to have to move forward. Now, I can't move forward unless I group them. So let's do that. Let's subtract this first. We're going to add extra group node on top of every single share, including on top of the group wheel. So edit, group, and then move the pivot point to the center of the group the group object. Modify center. So now when you look at on the group, if I expand it, you will see like this. It has a shared pieces and then has a wheel. So if I select the group, I did not select any wheel, but I can move all of them together. So that will be a quicker way to reposition it. Here we go. And a little bit off, it's okay, it's not a big deal. Still okay. There we go. So now I forgot to put this in. So basically, when you're done build the all part of the chair, you will put that part into this group. Let's call, double click on the group and call all share parts group. So that you know this is an all share part group. Allow you to move them anywhere you want as a unit. So this guy I will have to align again so that I don't have to do manually. Modify, align. And I have to zoom in really close. Okay. And then now I can move them. So now I am not going to rotate them yet. I'm going to taper them first. This side got to be tapered. Oh, wrong. This way. That's why we have to take a look at on that side, on the view. Here we go. It's how about just that? And then go to object mode. I'm going to rotate a little bit. Here we go, so that it line up. Now, it's not lined up perfectly. Probably have to be taller. Yep. And probably has to be wider. Okay, longer. Okay, now kind of close to now. So when I do that, I probably gonna have to fix this thing. This thing gotta be taller. Move it up. Now the inside, I can't even see it. I gotta go to full. Grab the inside and okay. Make sure it's not penetrated. So this guy can be thicker. There we go. Might be too thick. Kind of like that. You got an idea. When you do it, just keep moving until the position are kind of right. There we go. Move this down a little bit. Okay. So now we got a basic shape here. We just need more segment on here. So now let's take a look at the shape one more time. It kind of has a different level there and then indents from the thigh, right? Like the form molding into the body part, and then has a little taller right here. Well, like I said, this project, you don't have to do a really good topology. So I'm going to show you a really new tool. The only thing we need is we got to figure it out. How can we separate this? Can you see right there? Okay. So let's cut those parts first before we do further. So I'm going to add multi-cut and just hold on, multi-cut tool, and still select it. Here we go. I don't know why mine is not select the multi-cut. So we're going to cut this first, right there. Okay. And let's take a look at this. This section is kind of coming in a little higher on the end. So we need more section. Let's separate that, like one there. And then you just move the back side of the edge up like this. You know, we kind of prepared. You just have some shape there. Okay. And then you can build them separate object like that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to separate them. I mean, if you have a difficult time to build on your own in the future with different shape, you could just do two objects right away. You don't have to do like mine. Okay, so now I forgot, before we do that, this section actually is kind of narrowed out like this. Kind of like that. So let's move that first. Can you see? It has a little angle, not much. I exaggerated it. Let's press 3 to see how it looks. I think that's good. Let me do it again, one more. Here we go. So it looked like that. When I press 1, look like this. So it has a little kind of bevel in a little bit. So now we're going to separate this one. You can do like this. Let's do on the top easier. Select the whole loop and then select the top face, because we're going to separate them, extract them out. Just like that. Okay. So now use shift right mouse click and extract face. Extract it. Don't need to do anything. Deselect. Right click and go to object mode. And then, hey guys, mine is not extract. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Let me undo until extrude is gone. Hey guys, if you accidental like me do extrude, you have to undo until no extrude. Otherwise, you can have extra face with no face with zero space. So now, shift right mouse click and choose extract face right here. Not extrude, sorry, my bad. Extract it. Now you see green and white color. Deselect and go to object mode and move it out so that you can see now you're extracting it. There will be match exactly top and bottom. So the next thing you're going to do is you go to object mode and then append and append the back. Press Y, append it there. And then same thing as this guy, you append it so that now they become a two surface. Separate object. There we go. So that I'm going to move this back. Can you see? Because extract is also baking position. So I can put 0 on it. I can press 3 on this. Oops, sorry. Press 3. Here we go. So now it may look like, wait a minute, it's so small. Well, because we haven't blocking out the what do you call continuity yet. Because this is going to be the same. We press 3. Here we go. Can you see? Like a 2-piece. And you might feel like, hey, why is separate? No, when we make it sharp line, it will not. So let's press 1 back. Let's do that first before we go further. This guy, I'm going to multi-cut and make that really close.
How did you give it the snap?
I didn't snap.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I just changed the volumes. Oh, hold on. One moment. Because when I move it out to see, can you see that volumes? And then I just put 0 back so that is move it down. That's all. So now I want you to discontinuity on the bottom so that they are sharp straight line. There we go. So now, can you see? we need to do on the top too. Hold on, wait. Select that. I'm going to press all three. Look like this. Almost flat. Plus one back. Now this is what you need to do. Let's move this up. Temporary. Can you see the volumes? When we zero it out, it will snap back. Will go back. So I'm going to extrude this. I'm not using loop, edge loop. I extrude it and offset. I use offset 1. Now press 3 to see. Now can you see it's sharp now on the bottom? Press 1 back. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. Sorry. Extrude, my bad. This guy, extrude again. Offset 1. Here we go. And now if I press 3 on both, it will look like this. So now I can move these down. Here we go. So now, based on the image, on the bottom actually kind of sharp. So let's add another loop. Let's go to 1. Right here. Just loop. Don't need to extrude on the bottom. Just loop. Because we don't want to be really sharp. We just want to see a little kind of rounded, but not, what do you call it? A little round bevel. So, look like this now. Here we go. And now, how can we do this? That part. Not that difficult. Okay. So, gonna have to go back to this guy. Okay. So basically, you have to split the middle to prepare the shape. So if I do multi-cut, I can hold Control key with middle mouse. When you do middle mouse button, will cut in the middle. So now, what we're trying to do is, we try to prepare this shape. Right there, shape. The outside, and then the inside will be after. So, what can I do? Extrude it. Extrude, and then you can offset it instead of scale. Let's offset 5, 10, 20. Here we go. I'm getting somewhere. So now, based on these, you already see that we got this section that we can extrude it. Let me do even more. How about 25? How about that? Okay. So, and then we just need one more section right there. So we're going to extrude it again, but only this section, because we want some section that we can manipulate the wireframe to be like, kind of like that. So extrude, offset it again. How about this time 20? Here we go. 20 is overlap. Can you see? That's not a good idea. So let's do 10. Here we go for now. And then we can scale them in. Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna move this line, also that line, scale. Why it's not on the center? Oh, sorry, I hold extrude. See, somehow it's not center. What did I select? I may select something else more. No, that's weird. Because they are supposed to be equally. Well, I'm going to select face instead. If I am not able to do that, once again, it's still not. Well, never mind. I'm going to fix it by go to top view. Oops, sorry. Top view. Press F. Okay. And I'm going to press D, change pivot point. I'm going to move manually to that center. Press D. If you don't have to do that, perfect. But if you have to do it, do it. So, because I want to prepare this section right there. That section. There we go. And then move backward. Right. Now we got enough section. Let me press 3, see how it look like this. Okay. So press 1 again. Let's extrude the area, or you could do like this. Just move this line up. Press 3, see how it looks? Can you see? I can move these vertex down a little bit. And my pivot point still stay in the same spot. That's okay. No big deal. And then I'm going to move these face up. Here we go. I think I should, let me undo quick. I don't need to move that, guys. Just only this part. There we go. Might be too much, but okay. So too thick. I should kind of move it down a little bit. That one is too high. Right here, too thick. Let me press 1. Gonna move the vertices. Oh, edge. Here we go. And this edge doesn't look great, but it's okay. No big deal. Let me press D quick, and I want D. Huh. My pivot point won't snap. I've got to reset the pivot point, but I don't remember. Okay. All right. I think maybe that might need to come down lower. Okay. Maybe. Press 3 again. Okay. So that's how you make this. Oh, because I cut it more. See, I lose the shape. That shape. So, right, because I have more line there, so I lose that. I was wondering, like, why the shape looks different. So you have to mold them a little bit. Go to 1, grab these edges. And if it's not, I should have just do a simple technique. Simpler technique than this one. There's another technique. I still keep thinking about doing too much on the shape mold. Oops, sorry. Make sure you select all that too. Here we go. Okay. Press 3. Here we go. Move it a little bit. Oh, guys, hold on. That's my fault. It's just because I think too hard about try to align the this technique is perfect, but it just have to be, the object will looks good, but it's going to be a lot of work try to match this guy. um, it's already matched from the beginning, right? Let me save this scene as I'm gonna call C. Sorry guys, I think too hard. Let me undo this. After I save 3, I'm gonna undo before it's cut everything. I have only 50 undos, I think, or maybe not sure yet. Let me undo quick before I add detail on it. Here we go. Let's see how many undo do I have. Undo. Oh, infinite. Perfect. So I'm gonna save this as, and I'm gonna go back to C and D. Okay, hey guys, let's do something even simpler. Press 1.
Do you want us to go back as well?
Can you watch quick? And I think you should go back, but not yet. Can you watch? So now I'm gonna go to Mesh Smooth. Here we go. Now I'm gonna smooth division higher. 3, try to match it. I think 3 is enough. So now when I press 3, it will look like this. This section can be smooth also to match. So now, but this section, before you smooth though, let's do it. Smooth, hold on. Just watch, okay, and then I'll go back and do it. So 2, I think this one 2, no, gotta do 2 too. Here we go. So it will be really dense, but what happened to here is we have an actual geometry to mold them. So I'm gonna press 3 also. We can add more. And at this case, if I go to vertex, and if I grab, how about just grab vertex 1, let me check the image quick. Yep, a little taller only on that. So I'm gonna do, I think, let me grab the line instead. Here we go. And then subtract on the top. Turn on move 2. And when I move, can you see? So now if I press B, soft selection, and now I will talk about soft selection. I can enlarge it a little bit. Not too much because it might cause the bottom to, here we go. Okay. And then I can grab this and try to mold it. Okay. 1, 2, and then I'm gonna increase the fall off a little. Here we go. And that, and this, and that. And then I'm gonna grab the vertices. Okay. Change the fall off a little bit less. And I'm gonna just keep push and pull. And let me scale this quick. And I can grab that, push it up. Like that. So now, can you see? Now it looks a little better. When you have a little facet, when it's small, don't get panic. It just, when you render, you will not get those. So now it's just because of this. If I select the camera, right here, near clip plane, there's no vol, it's too short. Here we go. So point 1. Why my far clip plane is so awkward, but never mind. So, oh, here we go. So 0. Now it's gone. See that facet. So I think this way would looks better. And then you just keep molding. Okay. Then because it's uniform and you don't have to worry about on the bottom. So now, how do we do it though? Can you undo again? I mean, if you already get to this point, it's good. Let me undo until we get to this point. So basically, either way would work. But the first way, the first technique that we did, you're going to have to mold them more. So now I'm going to come back to this, and actually I should have molded this until it looks kind of really close to that object right here. So I think if I stop continuity, let me try. See if I stop like this would work better. Oh yeah. Hey guys, probably you will need to add extra line on the front part here. This is what I did. See, go to object mode, 1. That one is 1, 2. Here we go. So started from here. So you need to do multi-cut. Cut this. One more section. And object mode, select that. Cut. Here we go. Just one more section. It's not enough. And now you're going to delete history because it's too much history. Control Shift D. So that reduces the memory size when Maya read and write. I'm going to select both, and then we can add. Oh, let's do one at a time. Let's do on the bottom. Oh, the bottom. Control Shift Alt Delete. Oh, I do something. I do duplicate instead. I make a mistake. Here we go. So Alt Shift Delete. Delete history. Okay. So now add Mesh Smooth. And then let's do a little higher. Division. Let's do 2. Let's do 2. Okay. I think 2 might be too less on here. Let's do 2 for now. And then the other one, same thing. Mesh, smooth. These are actual geometry. Change the division to 2. So it means the file size will be bigger. You still can do 3. Like for example, you press 3 will be even smoother, but that will be multiplied, 3 multiplied by 3, not multiplied by 1. So now on here, how can you mold them? Let's take a look at this. Double click on Move To. Here we go. So on Move To, if you look at under Soft Selection, Move, Scale, Rotate has it. Soft Selection. When you enable it, here we go. Now when I select Object Mode, will do nothing. Right click and choose Vertex. Now when you select one vertices, let's say that I select in the middle one there from the top front, you will see a yellow color, yellow to red, and then to black. Yellow is mean effect 100%. Black is mean affecting 0. Red is 50. Everything in between just gradually move. Right now the fall off is set to the fall off radius set to 5 units. If you increase it, can you see, it create a more blending fall off from 100% on yellow, 50% on red, and then black is 0. So now when you move, it will appear to be moving more than 1 point. So now if I do fall off like this, the problem is it's too big. So it's moved on the bottom. So I have to undo. I have to change the fall off to be reasonable by look at the color. Here we go, you see. Now, you can do interactively without using this fall off slide. If you hold B key on your keyboard with left mouse button, can you see? You create a real-time adjust fall off radius. So now I will be able to move only that area. Okay, so I'm gonna undo. Now, I feel like we should add more section. Right click, under smooth, change to 3, more denser. Now what about the bottom? Should I chain? Let's turn off wireframe on chain. I think the bottom I'm gonna just leave as is. It looks good and it looks separated too. So it's kind of perfect actually. Here we go. So now we got more point, we can move more. So I'm gonna go to vertex level again, and this time though, under fall off, I want you to choose. Hey guys, to turn off fall off, you can press B. B, toggle on and off. Can you see B? If you hold B key with left mouse, you change the fall off. Now, fall off mode, you wanted to use surface mode, not volumes. Volumes mean use a bounding box. Surface is follow the topology. So that will give better. Can you see? If I use surface, the fall off is kind of not really circular. It's kind of ill of shape because it's kind of warping around the topology of the wireframe. So that would be better. Now, the other things though, we don't have to select left and hold shift to select right. We could do symmetry. So, under move to symmetry setting, here we go. When you use it, you need to turn it off when you're done. So now let's take a look at this. I do not know exactly. It looks like to be on Z on workspace, but the object might be different. So make sure fall off mode, surface, symmetry. Let's try object X and move your cursor. Not correct. How about, let me go to object mode quick, so that we can see it's Z. Okay, so it's Z, my bad. Vertex. So Z, symmetry, turn on object Z. That's right. Here we go. Can you see it? So when you do left, the right will go with it. So started from here, I would select the vertices. 1, hold shift. 2, maybe. How about 3, 4, 5, 6. I do it only one side, but it will mirroring selection. Okay. So, one more. I think I got to do from here. There we go. And center. Now I move. Can you see? We can do it only once. And I can rotate it. Here we go. Okay. I'm not going to do perfect, okay? You do it on your own. You might need to switch to selection tool so that you can select the vertices better. And then, now I think I'm gonna have to not select too far from there, too close from that edge. Move. Here we go. Let me do wider. Hold B key with left mouse button. Subtract that. I don't want it to affect the font part. Here we go. Oop. Okay. Let me grab that. I'm gonna push that down a little bit. Okay, that's it. All right. Not perfect. I have to touch up a little more, but I'm gonna stop my lecture. It's almost time. So I hope this helped. Now, can you try to do all by yourself with this on the back seat? See if you can do it. Okay. Try it. And well, you can try, or I'll do it with you on Wednesday. Save my scene, and that's it. Let me stop.